Hi, today we are going to talk about investment properties. Are you interested in maybe purchasing 1, 2, 3 investment properties, and are you actually the investment property customer? This is what we're going to talk about today, the pros and cons of investment properties. Today I am meeting with Kathy Dennison, Lighthouse Property Management owner and also consultant, I would say as well. And I have known Kathy, what would you say? We've known each other.
It's been probably 5 years.
5 years, and
Yeah.
she's top notch, knows her business, does very, very well. Thank you, Kathy, for being with us
Thanks for
today.
having me.
Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about how you got into the business?
Sure. I started the business in real estate sales, probably about 12 years ago. Decided that I had a passion for investment real estate. I love the rental business, it's just kind of a novelty. So I was focusing my sales on people who thought of real estate as not necessarily just your home, but also an avenue where you can build a retirement, build some passive income over time. I was personally trying to buy real estate, but I was unfamiliar with any management companies that did it as a profession, that made it professional with professional signs and internet marketing. I felt that I couldn't quit my job to focus on real estate, and I felt that was also the position that most real estate owners are in. So instead of continuing my career as a sales agent, I partnered with somebody. We started Lighthouse Property Management and cold called and built a company one by one, and we now represent 127 private real estate owners who have full-time careers and can't quit that to do the real estate, but they enjoy owning real estate. Maybe not all of the difficulties that come with it. It's still a niche, it's still a specialty business. You have to know about evictions, you have to know about different avenues of maintenance and how to get those discounted prices and how to do it effectively so you're not dragging certain issues out.
So if someone works with you, they can actually build their real estate portfolio and have the equity investment without the headache of the midnight phone call.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. We're going to talk about the steps that you need to take to be sure that you want to be a real estate investor and what things you need to look at. The first thing I think you need to do is secure a team that's going to work for you. Securing a team means a lender, understanding your finances. I think that's your very first step. A lot of investment property, if you're not going to pay cash and you're going to get a loan for them, I think they require 20 to 25% down now. That wasn't the case before, but now it's 20 to 25% down. So you just don't, and you want to make sure that's not all your money.
Yes.
Okay, so what
Yes.
do you advise your clients to have in the bank for incidentals?
It depends on the size of the project that you're looking at, and if you're buying a property that's cash flowing or if you're buying something as a fixer-upper project. You want to make sure that you have enough slush and enough nest egg built up there that what's the worst case scenario? Are you having plumbing backups? Is it a property that's been empty for a while? You have to have enough money to float it if something goes wrong, if there's that one accident that happens, because the property isn't always going to cash flow. Seller would love you to believe it's going to cash flow. When you talk about bringing a team in and having your team set up, you can never buy a real estate investment because you fall in love with it. It's not because it looks good on paper or the agent's selling it or they have a big glossy package put together. The management company who's going to run it and the agent who's selling it have to work in a team. They have to do the due diligence and they have to not rely on the numbers. You have to actually research, review your lease agreements. Know what a specific market is calling for as far as residents that pay heat versus other utilities. City inspection codes are a big one. And
Wyoming has a lot of regulations that you wouldn't find in Grand Rapids, is the way I understand it. They're even a little bit more strict, aren't they?
Until October 25th, they are a little bit more strict. I understand, but it's inevitable. Grand Rapids is following Wyoming, and the word on the street is that that's definitely coming to play. But if you're looking at an investment in Wyoming where your tax base is extremely high, plus you have regular inspections, plus the philosophy that Wyoming has adopted where you're bringing the properties to the next level, that's all falling on the shoulders of the landlords right now. You go to other outlying areas that haven't yet established inspection guidelines. Some of those areas even have lower tax bases than we have here. So you have to not just look at the property and its performance, but the neighborhood values alone. Which brings up another point. If you're buying an investment property, are you buying one on a street filled with investment properties? Because that makes you a slave to the other property owners.
She beat me to it. That was next on my list.
Then I'll stop there.
That's good. That's why we're here, because I know you know. Is it better to buy a property where there's a lot of rentals or where there's a limited amount of rentals?
I like to be in charge of my own destiny. So if I'm going to buy a rental property, I'm going to put it in an area where if I keep that property looking really nice and I command a fantastic tenant base, I'm going to get those quality of renters where nobody else on the street can bring me down. If I buy a duplex and there's a whole cul-de-sac full of duplexes on the street, you're right, you might have a more saturated rental market, so you can maybe fill it faster depending on the philosophy, I guess, that you use. But if you have 2 or 3 other landlords on that street that are in a little bit of trouble and they're struggling and some of the maintenance is getting deferred, quality of tenant base goes down and the whole street's going to suffer.